In this video I'll show you the restoration of an old Viennese chair, how it went from this to this. I spotted it next to a dumpster. It looked totally abandoned, broken, filthy, tossed out. But as soon as I saw it, I thought, nope, this thing deserves a second chance. Just look at it, full of cobwebs, rotting wood, insects. It was in terrible shape. But I've always liked this kind of chairs, and I wanted to give it a second life, something most people would just throw away. First came the cleaning. I gave it a good brush and tried different products: turpentine, alcohol, soapy water. Bit by bit, the layers of grime from decades started to come off. I also disassembled some of the parts that could be removed. Taking out the old screws wasn't easy at all. I had to get myself some proper screwdrivers because they were all flathead and some of them were completely stuck. The sanding. It was long and exhausting, especially because of all rounded parts of the chair. I used sandpaper between 180 and 300 grit, all by hand. It probably took me at least 6 or 7 hours just sanding. This is the little sander I got. It turned out to be really handy and super useful for all the flat surfaces. The broken seat was a bit more complicated. I wasn't quite sure how to deal with it since it's built into the frame and tightly fitted. So I decided to make a template. I marked it out in 1 cm squares. That helped me tweak the shape and digitize it later. Even then, it took me at least 6 or 7 tries to get the shape more or less right. Here you can see how I engraved a pattern similar to the one of the original seat and cut out the shape with the laser. But even after that, there was still quite a lot to fix. I also tried using an electric planer, probably not the best tool for this, but I wanted to see how it would go. After that, I soaked the new seat with water so I could bend it slightly. That way, it's more comfortable when someone sits on it. I started with one method, then switched to something else. That's just how these projects usually go. One of the backrest slots was completely missing. I used an oak strip I had laying around and shaped it to fit as closely as possible. Turned out pretty decent. To reinforce the seat and cover the crack underneath, I added a new bottom panel, which I glued with polyurethane adhesive and secured with small nails. I also decided to engrave the year of production and the year of restoration on the underside, a small detail that leaves a personal touch. Here I am applying the glue onto the seat. Should be here or there. I secured everything with a pneumatic stapler. It was my first time using one, but it actually worked pretty well. The chair was wobbling a bit, so I sanded down a few of the legs slightly to make it more stable. Now I am going over the entire chair with stain to enrich the color and bring together the different tones of the seat. I used a water-based stain to slightly darken the wood and hide the color differences. And to finish, shellac. It's a fascinating material produced by insects in Asia and was widely used by old furniture makers. I applied a few layers, polishing it between, and slowly the chair started to take on a beautiful, warm look. So this is the final result. Honestly, I am really proud of how it turned out, from a filthy, abandoned chair to something I'd gladly have in my living room.